Good evening, Seekers. This is Black Pope Vice. I have a quick video to make. Kind of want to, have some, because as a guru, people probably have ideas and questions. Because my Twitter account is kind of political, and I kind of want to address some of this. Because, I sort of talked a little bit about politics, but it's more about, to get you an idea of where you are and things like that. Anyway, I'm going to lean back in a moment, but I just want to talk about how beautiful I think my hair looks. I've been thinking about cutting it, but I look at it because of this outfit. It's hard to see because it's all, black on black. Well, anyway, well, it looks really beautiful, in my opinion, so I need to figure out a way to keep most of it, because I do have to get a haircut because of fucking work. If eventually you guys give me enough money to the stuff that I don't have set up yet, I'll be able to keep my beautiful hair. But in the meantime, let me tell you about, so I have, some political content on my Twitter account, but what tangible political goals do I have to really state agenda? A political agenda and goals. What am I? To the average person, it's like, what do you? Even if you believe in all the magic stuff to the degree that I believe, you would still be going, okay, so what now? So, I think it's very essential to understand, where I'm coming from, in the sense that I do believe in miracles, and I think they change the course of history all the time. So, just getting comfy, sorry. And, miracles change the course of history all the time. Even, we can just look at any mythology, and over time, miracles have been secularized, but, there's some battle early on, I think it was Lexington, or Concord, I don't know, I don't really care about American history anymore to be so sure, committed to that. I think it might have been Lexington. Anyway, there's all these secularized mythologies about how things, because they happen in the world, is different. How many times someone disobeyed during a nuclear order, call out, or protocol, or something like that, because of fucking geese, and then nuclear war didn't happen. All that nonsense. These things happen all the time. And when I was younger, I was very concerned about Fukushima. And I guess in many ways, my interest in Fukushima and obsession over Fukushima in ways helped get me into where I am today with magic and transmutation, and its interest as a type of magical pursuit and technology to research and develop. And I was always concerned about Fukushima, and I was like, oh yes, there's surplus radiation environment. Obviously, this can be changed, because the nature of radiation is change. These things are designed to break down, or some way experience entropic action that... What's the word I want to use? I think decelerate is a really good word to describe this process. That there are ways to decelerate the radiation in a way that stabilizes it to something that is not so energetic that it destroys the organic material it comes in contact with. And no, that's just the dryer. So, and people for a long time have been basically saying crystals do this deceleration and adjustment of energies. Very, very long time. Thought about combining bind runes or runic staff, runic coding into bind runes, which is like complex sigils, but this old trad term for sigil magic is bind runes. These chaos magicians. Anywho, I've had some thrown off coast of Alaska, some in Hawaii. I don't remember if I've got anything in Japan. I've definitely tried to get in Japan. I don't remember if I've ever succeeded. But, maybe, I don't know. I still have easy access to Japan. It's just a matter of, errand boy stuff. What are you gonna do? You can only have so many good henchmen when you don't pay them. Just, something you guys have to just deal with, And, one of the things I was thinking about when I was trying to address this radiation, the idea of surplus radiation that could be, what can be done with? I was like, well, we can always use it to empower our folk. And I remember when I first began these experiments, I saw various increasements in the byproduct of Gebo. That is a rune. But in this case, I was seeking to lower the veil between the worlds as a way to increase the energies in the environment that would empower us in general. I mean, there's negative consequences of this, of course, but I don't think necessarily in the ways that could be easily harnessed by the establishment, because they're a bunch of dumb fucks. And, now I just recently, I was trying to make this video, and then right before I saw this video, I saw something about Fukushima, and about radiation levels, and I'm trying to understand what this paper is saying, but to me it sounds like a bunch of radiation disappeared really quickly, and we're not really sure why. We have ideas, but all we have is just like, it's gone, lol, here's some data about it, but it's like gone, lots of it's gone, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty great. There's definitely, I'm definitely not the only magician in the world who's ever been powerful or competent enough to be like, yeah, let's do something about nuclear meltdowns. Not gonna say that. But I'm looking at the end result and I'm like, wow, this is really good. We don't have this Fukushima crisis. It's not as serious as it is. And maybe the Japanese developed some type of technology, but I mean, in Ghost in the Shell anime, they call this the Japanese miracle. And it fucking changes shit. And honestly, we're going to the cyberpunk world. But we're on the subject of miracles and kind of political activism. Something that's been bothering people in the community for a while is xenoestrogens. And I've been thinking about, kind of this idea of, like, what do we do? How do we address this? So, obviously, transmutation is the thing. Now, there's two ways of breaking this down. Now, we can break down the chemicals like atrazine in a material way that makes them less dangerous, or completely impotent. Now, that requires a certain level of energy to do that. But what if we, entirely break down the material process, the material structure of these chemicals, the xenoestrogens, but keep their energetic state, and then send them this energy, this gender-bending energy, towards transgenders. Now, some people are going to laugh. Some people are going to be, that's clever. And other people are going to be like, why do you care about transgenders? And as I said earlier in the beginning, I do believe in miracles. I believe people who are good should be fought for. I'm not the arbitrator of good. But I can tell that if people want to work with me, they're probably good enough. And that's as simple as I care. And if you have a problem with that, maybe you shouldn't be into me. But you know what? If you're fucking watching this and you have a problem, I have a problem with Dr. Weiss' political opinion, maybe you should take a fucking look at your shit and re-examine your priorities. I am a guru, and I will say, sometimes gurus can be wrong. And just because I have magical powers, and even if you really fucking take that shit seriously, it's just mid-level evidence, argumentation for, proof of righteousness. The ultimate one is self-realization or something far greater than anyone's magical power, which is basically a divine being of some sort. And obviously this kind of thing is tiered, but an outside powerful entity goes out of its way to demonstrate evidence. And I'd say the lowest level is actually text. I mean, yeah, it's great to have some Vedas or some Bible or whatever, but it only goes so far. If the Bible is correct in saying using Jesus Christ's name can banish demons, why do only evangelicals take this banishment technique seriously? Because other denominations don't. So that's why I rank books and stuff as a low-level source of evidence. Not to say it isn't valid, but it just only goes so far. I mean, because there's a difference. There's a difference between having a magical opinion and doing a magical act. That's why a magical opinion is not even worth shit. That's why you have to cite a book. You can paraphrase a book, and you can extrapolate on it, but you have to have some sort of basis in a book, as opposed to just saying, it's my opinion. If you're talking about a magical act as evidence, you have to say, well, here's what happened, but then here's what I think about this magical act. But for me, as a guru, doing the magical acts that I do, I mean, I'm sure some of you have some synchronicities experienced in my activities, in my interaction with you through whatever relationship we have. I've committed some sort of authenticity. But even if my magical acts are mid-level kind of proof, one of the things I have to do now with this ritual is do the big work. I have to appeal to the gods. I have to appeal to Venus and Saturn for this ritual before I do the nitty-gritty. Because we're going to have to do a lot of work to just deal with the xenoestrogens. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to pray with some candle magic and that's going to do it. If anything, the candle magic is going to activate the energetic hormone therapy for people. And it's just going to be there. And eventually, these people are going to be like, hey, there's this fucking conspiracy theory. And, that's going to be fucking hysterical. Because honestly, if you really care about, like, where this political movement is kind of going, anyway, in any way, shape, or form, you have to understand what trolling does to, like, these heavily indoctrinated people who are only, cock-fed, corporate totalitarian propaganda. So, trolling's the way to go, because obviously your gun isn't gonna win, you fucking retard. You have to come up with, ingenious theories and schemes to utilize capitalism against itself. Anyway, that's why I believe in miracles, because obviously that's the way to go to win. Anyway, I'm out. My hair is beautiful. Later, Seekers. Until next time.